Hello and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 3. This is going to be Game 2 of a best of 2 series between Next Level Badasses and TQVIA. Well, Game 1, in the end, TQVIA were able to get away with a level 1 Roshan and then translate that into a lot of towers early, taking the game before 30 minutes, just with the amount of pushing power that they had. That said, we're now in Game 2. I'm Grandis and I'm going to be joined by Mike Loris.
Radiant's pick.
Are you there? Let's see, it looks like my co-caster is AFK, so I'll take the first part of the draft. Whenever you are there, just give a shout and...
Oh, hello? Okay.
Hello!
It said my mic was not muted, but then it was muted still, so I had to like double click it again. But okay, I'm here now. So yeah, TQVIA, the level 1 Roshan is definitely a big reason why they got so much momentum in that game, but really it was the fact that they got so many Roshans after that. Next level badasses just couldn't contest or weren't aware that it was going on. So every single time Roshan was up, TQVIA was in there, killing it off, and they did so very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that was 4 taken in Game 1 by TQVIA.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the first bans coming out here from both teams, NLBA are going to ban out the Lycanthrope as well as the Faceless Void, and TQVIA are going to ban out the Tidehunter and Brewmaster. No big surprises there, but that will leave the Doom left in the pool for TQVIA to take up.
The next level badasses have access to quite a wide array of powerful heroes. They could go for the Razor, which should be... It's always a solid pickup whenever you first pick a Razor. Skywrath Mage, also Shadow Shaman, two of the premier support heroes still in the pool. Hopefully they go for something weird like a Death Prophet. Would like to see that again, although, you know, as far as weird heroes go, Death Prophet definitely isn't on my top... isn't top rated for weird heroes.
I mean, Death Prophet Shadow Shaman could be a pretty solid opener for NLBA.
Oh.
They will start with the Death Prophet, but then Ancient Apparition will be the support instead.
You were so close, so close.
Yep, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about Ancient Apparition this early on in the draft. I think Shadow Shaman offers a little bit more as a support, and both kind of fill the same niche. They need their level 6 before they really come online, but I think the pushing power from Serpent Wards is a little better than the team fight coming out from Ice Blast.
It's a little bit of utility right up against the Doom. Scorched Earth is a very large tool for Doom as far as keeping himself alive, and if you could deny him that regeneration, I mean, it's no Alchemist regen or anything, it's no Morphling, but it's still something that you can deny, and you get a little bit of extra value from that pick. But now next level badasses with that AA pick are going to be looking to pick up some really heavy ranged heroes as their supports or even in their lanes.
Yeah, I don't know, and a big part of drafting is just picking up heroes that you're comfortable with playing. So, next level badasses are going to go ahead and go a little in previous levels and pick up the Ancient Apparition, which I assume they're just fairly used to playing, and we'll go ahead and take that one up. With the Ice Blast buff on somebody, as well as the Exorcism Ghost onto that person, if they're able to lock them down in place, they're going to fall incredibly quickly.
Yeah, and also with this pickup, they'll have almost like complete lane supremacy. It's really hard to go against a tri-lane, including that includes Ancient Apparition and two other heroes that are somewhat decent. Chilling Touch is very, very hard to combat up against. Like, you could have a very even lane as far as heroes are concerned, but once you have that Chilling Touch, things get incredibly dangerous. Shadow Shaman will be the second pick for TQVIA, and as we said before, one of the premier supports at this stage in Dota.
Yeah. Doom's interaction with Death Prophet is interesting. It's really great to Doom the Death Prophet if you're able to get the her before the Exorcism is popped, but after the Exorcism, Death Prophet doesn't care all that much, especially if she has a couple of base survivability items that offer some HP to survive through the magical damage.
Yeah, and if she's going to go for a Yule Scepter, then keeping distance from Doom is definitely a possibility. Next level badasses, well, actually both sides, they do have a little bit of pushing. Whenever you pick up a Shadow Shaman or a Death Prophet, you know that there's going to be some pushing in this game. With the Ancient Apparition and Doom, I mean, both of these heroes aren't really great in a pushing lineup. Like, they don't actually contribute that much to the push themselves. But just being able to protect the Death Prophet or getting Shadow Shaman a quick level 6 can really change the tide of the entire game.
For sure. I don't know, let's see. The next couple of bans, Skywrath Mage and Viper, no big surprises just yet. And, I don't know, at least for these first couple of picks, staying with the, or for the most part, with the meta. No big surprises from either of them.
Oh, the big surprises, I'm sure they come later. Skywrath banned Viper. They're pretty vanilla, but you know what, that's completely fine because both of these teams do have comps that can go in a whole bunch of different places. Like, with Skywrath banned out, Next Level Badasses or TQVIA will feel very comfortable with perhaps picking up a Pugna, even if they do want to go really deep into the pushing strategies. It'll be a little bit better on TQVIA, Pugna, as well as Shadow Shaman. It's very hard to counter type of pushing, and they can do weird stuff like that, so hopefully they'll feel inclined to do so.
Yeah, Death Prophet Pugna, it's kind of greedy as far as lanes are concerned. Both kind of hog a lane by themselves. But when you have the Shadow Shaman and Pugna on the same team, Shadow Shaman fills that support role, just babysits your carry and tries to get some kills if he can, but more than anything, just going to be getting some experience from pulls. Yeah, I definitely would like the Pugna from TQVA a lot better than the one from Next Level Badasses, but both of them could go for it.
Interestingly, we see an Enigma ban out from TQVA. I thought last game the Black Holes later on were rather uninspiring. I'm pretty sure they only hit like 0.5 heroes average, but early on, those Black Holes, combined with the fact that they got an early experience boost from Roshan, that absolutely cleaned up the lanes of Next Level Badasses. And with the Shadow Shaman, he works pretty well with that Enigma. So, I mean, regardless, he's going to be banned out for now, as will the Invoker.
Yeah, Invoker is kind of an interesting hero that's fallen out of favor. Usually Exhort Invoker is seen because of the tendency for people to start pushing down, as well as the prevalence of the Faceless Void. I'm interested to hear the, or would be interested to hear the rationale behind that Invoker ban, but more than anything, just kind of a solid hero that fits into a lot of different lineups and can kind of offer a lot of different things. Whether that's roaming around with an Orchid on your Quaswex Invoker, the teamfight control from Quaswex, or just the damage from your Exhort.
I mean, Exhort would have gone really well with TQVIA if they, line up a Shackle or a Hex or something. Sunstrike is an extremely easy follow-up from that. And then you have Forge Spirits with the Serpent Wars from Shadow Shaman, just adding a little bit more pressure to that lane, whereas ordinarily you wouldn't have that. So I can understand this ban from Next Level Badasses, though the Invoker in lane probably wouldn't have had the best of times. Death Prophet with a nuking advantage in lane, maybe not with the straight-up right-click damage advantage, as Exhort does put Invoker on the top of that chart. But if it was Death Prophet or Razor, Invoker should have had a fairly difficult time for Next Level Badasses.
Yeah, and Razor, the first pick coming out of the second banning stage, a hero that's kind of wormed his way into the second picking stage. Usually you see him banned out in the first or picked up in the first. But still, definitely a solid hero and can get a decent link off onto Doom, but TQVIA are going to pick up the Templar Assassin.
I really, really hope for TQVIA's sake that this Templar Assassin is not going to match up versus a Razor. We saw this in one of the TI4 games. It was one of the chief reasons why EG lost against, I believe, DK, if I recall correctly. They had such an unfavorable matchup in TA versus Razor because TA is a hero purely reliant on her right clicks. Razor just gets 3 points in static link, and suddenly your TA is hitting for literally no damage.
Pretty much. Shadow Demon going to be the next support to come out from NLBA. I'm not a huge fan of this support here. Will be decently good at defending his own heroes, but there's not great spells to set up. With that disruption, they will be able to secure themselves extra damage from the static link of the Razor. But other than that, we don't have any classic combos with the Shadow Demon like a Mirana or an Invoker.
Now you have Cold Feet into Disruption, which guarantees a stun. It's a pretty weak combination. But yeah, I definitely think Mirana should be at the very least banned here from TQVIA. Shadow Demon, Mirana, Ancient Apparition. Those are three ranged heroes, so they benefit really, really heavily from Chilling Touch. And they're three heroes that benefit a lot from proper setup from Shadow Demon. If you land an arrow, that target is going to drop very, very quickly. TQVIA, though, their support pick going to be the Witch Doctor. Again, not too much setup for this Witch Doctor ultimate. Usually you see Witch Doctor picked up along with the Faceless Void or something like that, so you could drop a Death Ward during a Chronosphere.
If you get yourself a good cask, or you have somebody shackled with somebody else cast, you can still get off a lot of damage. And if the Witch Doctor is positioned well, I don't think you need a whole lot of setup for the Death Ward to channel throughout the team fights. I don't know, currently there's not a lot of great ways to cancel the channeling coming out from the Witch Doctor. Pretty much only the disruptions, the instant one. I guess Silence from Death Prophet as well as Cold Feet could work. Silence from Death Prophet is actually probably the best way they have to cancel the channeling.
Yeah, it's a long-range silence that's... well, if the target's moving, it's hard to land, because you would want to have it right on the edge to get the max value of that silence, but when Witch Doctor's standing still, dropping a silence should be fairly easy, assuming the Doom doesn't apply his ultimate to the Death Prophet. But the Weaver is actually going to be the final ban out from TQVIA, so they're not scared of the Mirana, so it would be a really good pickup for the next level badasses. They themselves going to ban out the Wraith King, a hero that, if he was played as a primary role, as a core, with the Witch Doctor and Shadow Shaman would have been very dangerous, even up against the powerhouse lane with Ancient Apparition, Shadow Demon, and one other from next level badasses.
Yeah, definitely. Just way too much single target lockdown with the Wraithfire Blast into the Shackles with the Cask bouncing on top of that. Just way too much uptime on the auto attacks coming from that lane.
Yeah, and at that point, Shadow Demon, although he would want to use Disruption in an offensive manner, using it in a defensive manner would be almost a necessity. And oh, a Ricky! Here we go. That's some Disruption setup. Disruption into Smokescreen is pretty legit, actually.
Yeah, and also with the Soul Catcher on top, Backstab's going to be doing a ridiculous amount of damage, but I had not seen this pick coming from next level badasses. Next level indeed.
Yeah, they're certainly living up to their name. Ricky, I mean, he's going to struggle in lane a little bit, especially if TQVIA themselves pick up something like, well, I think they would have been really happy to pick up a Weaver at this point. But they're going to go for an Ursa. Okay. This is going to be a very interesting game, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely. Those last two picks, like, up until those last two picks, the draft was looking, okay, that's pretty standard. Templar Assassin, that's a little bit weird, but then Ursa Ricky, like, I don't know, I'm excited. I'm not sure how these heroes are going to do in these games, but I'm excited. I don't know, this Ursa, usually you like to see him on the dire side so he has access to the Roshan, but still he's going to have a lot of physical damage as long as they're able to keep people in place with that Shadow Shaman. That said, I'll go ahead and introduce the Radiant side. It is TQVIA, who are up 1 in the series. It is a best of 2. Ursa going to be played by Nfox. He was the Nature's Prophet player from last game. We're going to have Kefratato on the Doom with Monster playing on the Shadow Shaman, Gut on the Templar Assassin, which will leave our Witch Doctor played by SGL.
On the NLBA side, we have DVG playing the Razor, currently on the bottom lane. Yurgity is going to be joining him for now as a Shadow Demon support. McCoy's racist grandpa, classic McCoy, is going to be playing the Ancient Apparition, also heading down as Nfox, actually leading the charge. You might have to take a hold on the introduction. Might be seeing a little bit of an awkwardly positioned fight. The Ancient Apparition should have seen this coming, and if anyone from NLBA walk up this hill, they'll certainly die. Actually, it's going to be the Ancient Apparition who will get lassoed, or shackled, and then instantly brought down. Very, very easy kill. Smokescreen with someone in the bubble. It's going to be iMonster. Pretty nice swarm, hitting onto absolutely everyone. Usually have an instant win due to the chilling touch, but for right now, NLBA, they're on full retreat. They can't get anyone else. They need another shackle or something. Yurgity is going to take one too many right clicks, and he's going to go down as a secondary kill for TQVIA. Now they have another shackle onto 25th, and they should be able to secure him, especially with the cast bouncing through. iMonster will be the only casualty thus far for TQVIA. The Ursa is going to try to salve in the meantime. This chilling touch providing some serious value. DVG going to try to look for a kill onto SGL, but Ricky, a melee hero, and he did pick up Smokescreen at level 1, will really struggle to get into this fight. They need one more hit from this Razor to kill off this Witch Doctor, and Razor does have boots level 1, so SGL should get whipped down, although the cast providing some serious... SGL, don't turn backwards. What are you doing? Okay, in the end, it's going to be a 3 for 2, though the first blood does go to TQVIA.
Yeah, the Ancient Apparition got caught out in a very awkward situation away from all of his other allied heroes. He was able to get the Chilling Touch on 2, but if they had that on every single one of their heroes, I think that fight would have been at least a 3 for 3. Especially considering how low the Ursa went down in mid. We're going to have Shackles onto the Razor, but he's doing so much damage from Gut. I'm not sure why he's still trying to right-click that. And, well, with 56 stolen damage, Gut can't do anything.
3 damage last hits. If you got that CS, I would have been extremely impressed, but... yeah, a pretty good start for TQVIA, losing a little bit more than they really should have in that retreat. But I kind of want to talk about these kind of weird hero picks. First of all, promised that there would be lots of weird picks coming in the later stages. Ricky and Ursa definitely living up to that. Ricky showing his weakness and his strength in that smokescreen. If they fought during that smokescreen, would have been huge, but at the same time, level 1 Ricky is not really a hugely powerful hero. However, Ricky as a hero is really, really good versus the likes of Templar Assassin and the squishy heroes, the Witch Doctor and Shadow Shaman. 25th on the top side might be in a little bit of trouble if the shackles could land, but they cannot.
Yeah, without boots on iMonster, it's very hard to get in range for those shackles, as Shadow Shaman's one of the slowest heroes in the game, I believe, tied with Invoker. Yeah, we do have a smoke coming out from the Witch Doctor as well as the Shadow Shaman. Looks like they want to make a move on mid to help the Templar Assassin out in this lane. That she's obviously going to be at a disadvantage later on. But with the early kills going her way, 2-0-1 on the Templar Assassin, she's managed to find 7-1 up against the 4-1 of the Razor.
And DVG's in a terrible position right now. Cask going to be thrown. Gut will instantly get his damage stolen. So not much damage from this TA. And Monster, again, very, very slow with 285 versus the huge 345 of the Razor. You cannot catch up to that hero. That will never happen. Razor's going to secure a double damage rune and walk away with his life.
Yeah, I don't know. The Shadow Shaman's positioning has been kind of lackluster. He's been body blocked a little bit by the Witch Doctor in a couple of these team fights. and just hasn't been able to find the correct angle for the shackles. Even if they went for it, because of the static link on the Temple Assassin, their damage was pretty lackluster. But it definitely would have been a higher probability kill.
Yeah, Gut, really, the only reason why he's doing this well in the lane is because he got those 2 kills earlier. He has 10 CS, which is all well and good. He's going to try to go a little bit aggressive versus DVG, who is, running a little bit low on mana. He used Plasma Field, I think, one too many times, but anytime bottom lane. The Doom was left
up top.
down...
25th, yeah. No, it's fine. It was just shackled in place, and when you have uptime on the Ursa, especially with Boots and Orb of Venom, there's no way you can run away from that. But back to the bottom.
Yeah, back to the bottom. The Doom was left here by himself completely, and 1v3 in a lane, you're going to be struggling. 1 against 3 with these 3 heroes as a Doom, there's not much that you could do. So he's been jungling for the most part. It's something you can do as a Doom. You do get that contingency plan. But the bottom lane is slowly but steadily going to be pushed. No Ring of Basilius or anything like that, so it's going to be a slow push, but it's a push nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think Aquila would be a solid pickup for the Riki. Having a Basilius in a tri-lane is always wonderful. Although not necessary, really, since Doom offers absolutely 0 to your counter push. Another rotation coming out from these supports on Razor. If you first don't succeed, try again. So DVG might be in a little bit of trouble. Let's see where they're going to catch him and if they'll be able to follow up with the shackles. They're leading with Monster. Get the cast off in the shackles from very long range with the damage coming out from Gut. It looks like it's going to be enough, and indeed it will. Disruption comes out for Yurkity. They jump in with the Riki as well. They drop the smoke screen. I don't think he's going to be able to get this kill, however, especially with the Voodoo Restoration coming out from SGL. Not a chance.
The classic level 3 ganking support Riki. Usually you would never see that. I mean, Riki is being played as one of the core farmers for NLBA. You want your Riki to be sitting in lane, getting a couple more levels, because a level 3 Riki with a 1-1-1 build is going to be extremely underwhelming, doing very little damage, and he needs a lot of slows or something to do any damage at all with backstab. If there's no slows, no stuns, no CC, then he's working with just smokescreen, and it could work later on, but as it stands right now, he really needs a lot more if he's going to contribute. Gut is going to go straight for Ancient Apparition, although Gut might be the one who's getting surrounded.
Looks like everybody is going to be just fine and dandy. No way to hold that Ancient Apparition in place as he walks off towards the side. Actually, TP's towards top, where we might have a go with the Shadow Demon in position. The Ursa looks like he's going to be the target. They throw a couple of auto attacks, but Ursa is a pretty fast Baron. We'll be able to run away.
That was a really awkward angle for Yurgity. He went through the trees instead of south below the trees. If he went south, that would have been a for sure catch on the Ursa. At that point, I don't know if they had enough damage, so whether or not they would have gotten the kill, that's still up for debate. But it would have been opening the door for possible kills. And meantime, Gut still struggling on that mid lane versus the Razor static link. It's such a hard matchup for Gut. Though he has been playing it very well with the phase boots, it'll help him to keep away from that Razor.
As well as just the extra raw damage in order to attempt to CS. Usually you see those as more...
top lane.
Oh, yeah. Disruption, a little bit of nice defensive play coming out from the Shadow Demon, but 25th might be in a little bit of trouble. They don't get the auto attack for the Orb Venom. Will actually change targets onto Yurgity. He's just going to be ripped to shreds by the Ursa there, and it looks like he's going to be the only kill. Yeah.
A great disruption from the Shadow Demon, saving the Death Prophet from the slow of the Ursa Earth Shock. But in the end, Shadow Demon isn't exactly your most mobile hero, especially since he himself does not have any boots or anything like that. So a very easy, very clean gank for TQVIA. And Ursa's going to continue to just keep working up his items. He's gone for a Morbid Mask for now. And, well, he's not on the Dire, as you said before. You would rather have an Ursa when you're on the Dire. Still sneaking into the Roshan pit with early lifesteal is a viable way to go.
Yep, he'd definitely have to smoke, and I think they'd still be able to... sniff it out if the Ursa wasn't on the map, especially since Doom is the one taking up the jungle. The chances of the Ursa also jungling is fairly slim, but we'll have to see. Maybe if they check it falsely once, he might be able to have a window of opportunity. I think both teams definitely need to have vision around the Roshan pit, however.
It's going to be a little bit more difficult for TQVA since, well, NLBA, they have a Riki, so you never really know if you're being stalked, and the worst thing if you're going to be soloing Roshan as Ursa is getting it jacked and also getting killed in the process. Riki definitely definitely a capable hero of doing that. He has hit his level 6 mark now, and as it stands, there is 1 sentry available for the Shadow Shaman, but that's about it as far as detection. No mana on the Doom.
Yeah, I don't know, this Riki's just kind of stoking experience. There's your 1 sentry being put to good use, but they don't have anybody in range, and now Riki is just going to make a hasty retreat towards his own tower. Shadow Demon TP'd in. Not sure if that was entirely necessary, but, it's not a bad thing at the very least. If they're able to catch somebody out with the Disruption, Soul Catcher combo, maybe they'll be able to go aggressively with Dismember, but they definitely know that there is 2 sentries, or at least 1 sentry on the ground. I don't think that they know the second one is there.
Well, they're going to go for round 2. They have the Disruption up, plus the Curse, plus the Smoke Screen. Can they bring down this Doom? He's a really tanky target, but with the Blink Strike, plus 3 points in that backstab, that's a very, very easy kill for the Riki Shadow Demon combination. And in the meantime, mid lane, the Razor trying to steal some damage from it, what looks like the Ursa, but got jumped, and Razor unfortunately couldn't do anything about that. How did he go down? I guess just Psionic Trap slow?
Psionic Trap slow, Earthshock slow, as well as Orb of Venom, I guess. I don't know, he also has 4 points up into the Overpower, so he's going to be able to attack him very quickly. Not a kill that I expected to happen at the very least, especially without a Blink Dagger on your Ursa. But either way, he's going to make his way back towards top.
Yeah, I was really surprised that just Ursa was able to get close enough to that Razor, because Razor's pretty quick, although Nfox top lane going to go for someone else. He wants to go for the Ancient Apparition, 1, 2, 3, 4, easily overpowering that Ancient Apparition, and then he's going to walk his way out of there. You got to respect the bear if you're AA, hell, if you're anyone. However, it looks like they might want to turn things around. Disembody has no mana, so you can't do that. Disembody, I'm sorry, it won't work.
I don't know, so far this Riki has been more useful for scouting than for getting kills. He got that 1 kill down in bottom, which is all fine and good. But still, haven't really seen the pick shine as of yet. He can still do a lot of damage with the items that he has now, but he just doesn't have enough mana. He has 1 Blink Strike available. Will he be able to get this kill on Ursa? Urshot comes down, and no way Riki's going to be able to chase him down, and might actually be turned around on Monster, looking for the Shackles, not going to be able to find them.
Usually you want your Riki to have a little bit more as far as his items are concerned if he really wants to be farming. Something like a Diffusal is always super useful on Riki. It lets you do a lot more damage. It helps you keep people in that smoke, but ganking around as Riki is not the strongest hero to gank around with, especially when you have literally no mana.
Yeah, I don't know. If you have like a Drums or Diffusal, just a really cost-effective stat item early on in the Riki, you can make those ganks work, but yeah, just not a chance for Disembody there. In mid, Templar Assassin's going to pick up Drums of her own, so we'll be able to chase down heroes fairly effectively, as well as just getting a very cost-effective item for her team. As I said last game, I like to see at least 1 per team. The extra 10 attack speed is always something worthwhile, as well as the movement speed.
NLBA is actually running kind of into a weird scenario here where DVG, well, he has a haste rune, so there's no way that they catch up to him without any stuns, but they ran the Riki as the primary core farmer, and now he's just been roaming around. Death Prophet got shut down pretty hard in lane, so NLBA, they're kind of wasting a lot of time in sharing this farm with these supports. Both of them are not really getting much of anything, whereas the Doom, he already has a mech up. With level 2 in Devour, he's going to be getting a lot of gold, plus the Ursa and TA are doing pretty well for themselves, all things considered. So NLBA, I feel like they should slowly be starting to fall behind, and the gold earned, experience earned graphs do reflect that fact.
Yeah, at about 3k in the gold, as well as about 2k in the experience. That is the damage that has been made so far, but it looks like TQVIA are going to try to make that a little bit wider as they do smoke up with Shadow Shaman as well as the Ursa, and this might be your straight-up Roshan coming out from them. A very risky move, but if it goes unpunished, this could be huge. They drop a sentry around the pit to make sure that Riki is not stalking them, but for now he is not.
It's only a level 1 Fury swipe, so this Roshan is going to be a little bit risky. In the meantime, Gut, what? Okay, I just don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, that's twice that the Razor's been caught out at very awkward situations. I wasn't even watching, yet again, a kill that honestly should not happen.
There's no way a Templar Assassin should be able to kill off a Razor at this point. Yes, she is 303, and, well, this kill in the bottom lane, that's a little bit more viable. SGL is going to get slashed down by the Riki. A Blink Strike will secure that kill. Free one. In the meantime, Ursa plus Shadow Shaman, they're going to split the experience. That's going to put iMonster up to level 6, give him his Serpent Wards, and then instantly give them, at the very least, a Tier 1 tower, maybe even a Razor, because Razor likes to die, apparently.
DPG is hanging back for now. They will commit the Serpent Wards to this Tier 1 tower just to make sure that they're able to get this. Plasma Field comes out, and Ursa is going to get fairly low, although won't lose his Aegis just yet.
And they will be able to secure this tower. The question is, can Razor get the deny? I really don't think he should even get close, because when he gets close, stuff like this happens. He's going to walk away without the deny. In the meantime, bottom lane was also destroyed. Disembody going to pick up that one. And it looks like he will be going for a Yasha, so possibly going for a Manta style. Going to help in splitting out in that refraction, or the Psionic Trap slow, plus the Earth Shock slow from the Ursa, plus your illusions are invisible, so even more scouting.
Definitely, and Yasha just as casual item on Riki is great for chasing down heroes, especially when you go for the Orb of Venom, and gives them great stats to use for backstab.
Top lane is also going to be pushed by TQVIA. They don't have the Serpent Wards for this one. They do have 2 points in the Voodoo Restoration as Witch Doctor going for a very, very strange build. Only 1 point in the Paralyzing Cask. This is actually the first time I've seen this. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Paralyzing Cask maxed first.
Yeah, usually at the very least put 2 points into it, I think, if you do want to max another spell out. But when they have the Ursa, the extra points into Maledict are nice, and they want the extra pushing power as well to combo with that Shadow Shaman. So I guess it makes sense in that sense. But Tier 1 mid is going to be glyphed up as Exorcism has been popped. We have a Blink Dagger on the Ursa, but for now, nobody's initiating, and we're just kind of waiting on the backlines. But God, going to play very aggressively up against the Rookie, going to get no damage stolen, I believe. Here comes the Ursa on the backlines with Psionic Trap. He just rips the Shadow Demon apart, and now we're going to see McCoy race his Grandpa, going to be suffering a similar fate. Ursa's low, but he has the Aegis available. They're going to Ether Shock down another one. And while buyback from the Shadow Demon wants to get back into this fight, we have the Blink Dagger Ursa. He's not going to be able to jump back to the back lines. Razor's been doomed up as God. Throws a Meld Strike the way of the Shadow Demon. He delays the inevitable here by throwing the Disruption, but 1 more auto attack's all they need in order to secure that kill. So 4 as well as a dieback?
Yeah, I mean, Ricky did manage to pick off the Witch Doctor in the back end, but then when he tries to jump in, he's simply not itemized in order to fight where there's, you know, big bears and Doombringers and stuff like that. That's a pretty easy fight for TQVIA to take. They don't lose that much at all. Unfortunately, they don't have mana for Serpent Wards, but the Shadow Shaman going to be okay with that because he has a Blink Dagger in his stash. Huge items coming up after that crushing fight from TQVIA. Double hammers from Templar Assassin into Desolator, 1900 on the Doom. Witch Doctor, the first one to drop. He's only at 1,000, but, you know, someone has to suffer in those fights.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Let's see. NLBA, I don't think there's a single hero that's going to be able to stand to a Desolator Templar Assassin, especially when you have the physical damage from Shadow Shaman Wards as well as Ursa on top of that. That's just going to hurt. Like, a Desolator this early is going to be a very difficult pickup to deal with. Ricky, he's invis, but they don't have vision of him, but they do have vision of DVG, and he's going to be destroyed by the Ursa. Gut wants to find another kill, but she's being getting misses from the smoke screen. It's going to dissipate now, but the cold feet is going to proc onto Gut. Gut is trying to make his way out alive. Will he be able to turn onto this Ricky? Ricky's falling low. Gut will fall eventually to the Death Prophet, I believe. And now looking for more Death Prophet, going to be slowed down, and there's no way he's going to run. A little bit of body blocking coming out, but the shackles to secure that last kill. So 1 for 3. I still think Templar Assassin is going to be decently happy with that. Although if she had survived that fight, that would have been your completed Deso.
NLBA, they felt comfortable in taking that fight because the Ricky saw everything. So they figured, hey, we have the vision advantage. We should be able to start this fight and end this fight just as we like. But Ursa doesn't play by your rules. He jumped in and shredded Razor. That's supposed to be NLBA's tankiest hero. That's supposed to be their front line. When Ursa bursts through the Razor with just a vanilla Ursa combination, I mean, he could even get more powerful with Fury Swipes, then you know that you're going to be very far behind. He does have Chainmail going for a mech, so eventually he'll have some more physical resistance. But as it stands right now, if DVG gets a little bit too far off and gets hit with that Earth Shock, he's just going to drop.
Definitely. I'd like to see NLBA pick up a Vladimir's offering. For the lifesteal on the Ricky, yes, but more importantly for the extra 5 aura armor. Just too much physical damage coming out from TQVIA, and even a Vladimir's offering is not going to be the end-all be-all. It's going to help, but it's not going to help all that much. I think these supports need to invest in Ghost Scepters, and maybe even the Death Prophet as well.
And Fox wants in. He wants more. He's going to jump forward. Instantly, he's going to get silenced, however, and the Exorcism already working him down. He's going to try to turn things around on 25th, but it won't happen as the bubble will save that Death Prophet. Now Distant Body is going to get caught out with that cask, and he is visible, and SGL is going to get mech'd up. Distant Body, though, does have the backup of his team as the Ancient Apparition Ice Blast does fly through. Distant Body is going to get doomed, kind of wasted there. Gut now on the retreat, as is the Doom. It looks like Gut will pop up the Refraction and should be fine as he does bottle up and retreat. NLBA get a pretty good fight because they have the Exorcism up before the fight starts.
Yeah, I don't know, we saw that counter to the Witch Doctor channeling of the Death Ward in that last team fight. The silence from long range made sure that that Death Ward was only channeled for about a split second. It did some decent damage to that team fight, but in the end, a similar trade to what we saw just seconds ago where the Templar Assassin traded for 3. I believe it was a similar trade for the Ricky this time.
But Ricky unfortunately dies once again, so he doesn't exactly get to reap all the benefits of that fight. And while Ursa, he's going to go on towards his BKB. Once he has that, then NLBA are not going to have the good fortune of being able to just, you know, have the Death Prophet duel him for just a little while longer, then nuke him down. That's just not going to happen. Ursa's going to run wild. And if he runs wild right on top of your Razor, well, Razor hasn't really made any item progression since last we checked, so he's still very, very easily shredded by this bear.
Yeah, definitely. NLBA, they don't have a lot of physical or magical damage, excuse me, to that is actually blocked by the BKB coming out from the Ursa, but just being able to avoid the disruption as well as cold feet coming out from them is going to allow the Ursa to run rampant. Ricky, he pops the dust, and they're just going to be able to burst him down so quickly. Good reaction timing coming out from TQVIA in a very unfortunate spot for the Ricky to be in. They popped the smoke, and then it was an instant dust into the Ursa just wailing on the Ricky, who was trying to get intel for his team, but not going to work out for him there.
That was actually a gem that Guts wielding, so Templar Assassin with the lockdown counter for that Ricky, as we do have initiation now once again onto Yurgity. He's going to hexed up and shackled, waiting for the bear to come back out, still fit to finish off his meal. And that's 2 down. NLBA, they're going to have the Ricky back by the time this push happens. And, well, iMonster wasting a TP scroll there. Don't worry, nobody saw a thing. He once again is, well, now he has enough mana for Serpent Ward, so they're going to go for this.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot stopping them. They'll be able to burst down this creep wave, but I think with Serpent Wards down, they might just be able to jump into the enemies, and now they will with the Doom onto the Death Prophet before she gets Exorcism off. They're going to shackle her in place. The Ursa's not able to auto-attack that much, but 25th should be as good as dead. Razor gets a little bit of a link off. He's trying to focus down Monster, but Disembody's just going to fall. Apparition Blast going to land on the Ursa as well as Witch Doctor, but I don't think it really matters. Overpower comes out from the Ursa, but so does the Glyph, so they will stop attacking the tower for now. DVG is kind of on the sidelines. He's going to be slowed down by a trap, and now the jump in from the Ursa. He uses the Overpower, but now they're going to shackle him up, and he changes targets back over from Yaggerty, and eventually they do kill the Razor. They will get the Soul on the HE Apparition. They only need one more auto attack. Will they get it? They will. And Ursa taking a decent amount of damage, Cold Feet not going to proc on him, and he should be fine, although he needs to be careful. DVG looking for the damage. He does not have the Plasma Field available. Will link up the Templar Assassin, but Templar Assassin breaks it, and now DVG, oh my goodness, the ward being channeled onto him. The physical damage is just too much. Ricky's not going to be able to silence it, and he's going to be wrecked as well. 25th jumps into the team fight again, and GG called out by Yurgity in the end.
They just kept on throwing life after life after life into this TQVIA side, and with this level 3 in that Voodoo Restoration, had just enough Arcane Boots on the team, he was able to keep everyone alive for a good deal of that fight. Ursa, of course, reaping a lot of benefits from his lifesteal. So that's going to be a very, very powerful, just straight push from the TQVIA side, and it's going to be powerful enough to force a tap out of the NLBA team.
Well, TQVIA are going to take the whole series 2-0. It is a best of 2 series, and that will be it for HeflaTV today. Or rather, I believe there's more games going on today, but at least for my day, when I woke up, it is going to be over. It's been,
day.
Yeah, the American day. There we go. Yeah, it's been quite a long one, so a little bit sleepy throughout this game. Either way, you can follow us on HeflaTV at Twitter and Facebook. Find the VODs at youtube.com/HeflaMoke. And you can also follow us on Twitch if you are so inclined. You can also subscribe, which is a great way to support us casters here. I've been Grandis V, and I've been casting with you for the majority of the day here on HeflaTV 2, but for this last Best of 2 series, I have been joined by Micah Loris, and where can they find you? And I guess close us out here.
Well, I'm going to be on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mike Loris, and Twitter is going to be Mike Loris as well, because I'm original like that. But that should be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this day of casting. Us Americans are going to call it a day. Unfortunately, America did not prevail in this Best of 2, but